And once again, to the surprise of absolutely nobody, the Cincinnati Bengals are stupid and refuse to pay their players, and Trey Hendrickson is now on the trade block for the Cincinnati Bengals. It's just ridiculous at this point. This is easily your best defensive player on the team. Yes, he's 30. Yes, you want to get good value out of him. Yeah, I mean, I understand maybe you not want to pay him because you literally just paid, what, $150 million in total to two receivers and a quarterback. But still, your defense sucks. It's the only reason why the Bengals aren't a playoff team. That's coming from a Ravens fan. The Bengals have an amazing offense. They're literally the reverse version of the Steelers. You have to have at least a moderate offense and then a amazing defense, or an amazing offense and a moderate defense to win the Super Bowl. I know people say defense wins championships or this is an offensive league. You still have to be decent on one side or the other to be either a contender. The Steelers are awful on offense and the Bengals are just the complete opposite, complete representation of the AFC North. But anyways, we're going to be rebuilding the Bengals, but not being penny pinchers with our money. But anyways, we got Joe Burrow here, 97 overall superstar X Factor. We literally got our offense completely figured out other than the interior offensive line. Amarius Mims here, I think he looks great whenever he's healthy. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Orlando Brown Jr., extremely overrated, extremely overpaid. That's coming from a Ravens fan. He's just super whiny about a lot of things, and I don't understand how he's a Pro Bowler a lot of years. He's not bad, but for what they're paying him, he's really not worth it. Apparently they got a player here, Fairchild. I'm going to be honest, I don't know who this is. I'm sure many of you are going to say I don't know ball, but I'm going to start him because he has hidden development. Mike Gesicki, not a bad pickup. Chase Brown, surprised he doesn't have star development, but he's going to be the starter for us. And then defensively, what are we going to have here? Got Demetrius Knight, I believe is how you say his name. Let me see. It is Demetrius Knight, so he will be the starter for us for the Cincinnati Bengals outside linebacker. Then I don't think Shamar Stewart started as a 78 overall. I simulated past the preseason. He probably started as a 74 overall. I personally would have given him a 71 overall. I know he's a lot of raw talent, has high athleticism, a high motor, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. What can you produce as a first round pick? If you want to take high motor, high talent, high athleticism, later rounds in the draft, absolutely go for it. I think the combine is the most overrated thing in the NFL offseason. Can someone run really fast? That's really cool. In a straight line with no gear, that's really cool. How is your on-field performance? I understand he's raw. I understand he has a lot of high upside, but the Bengals have an amazing offense. I think they need to win now, and this is not a guy that can win right now and be an immediate guy. This is a developmental, straight, raw player in Shamar Stewart. So I don't think he's a bad player. I just don't think he was a first-round pick option, but I'm sure I'm going to eat my words on that. Got BJ Hill, Chris Jenkins, Cam Taylor-Britt, Dax Hill, DJ Turner, is that Jordan Battle, I believe it is, and then Geno Stone. So on paper, it doesn't look horrible. This team gets completely wrecked every season, especially in the secondary. It doesn't matter how fast DJ Turner or Dax Hill is. All these guys get smoked in the secondary. Logan Wilson and Trey Hendrickson, as of right now, I feel like they are the only concrete guys that actually do something on the defense. But other than that, the secondary gets torched every single year. But anyways, I'm going to see if I can fix that with the Cincinnati Bengals. Let me see my playbooks. Still having issues trying to figure this out. Let's just do the West Coast spread and just keep it Cincinnati's playbook. It's just the defensive playbook that I can never get a grasp on every year because it's just total hit or miss. But I'm always going to go with Buffalo because I feel like that's what works the best for me. Again, it's still total hit or miss, but it just works better for me. Season number 1, let's see what we have at the midseason mark. 3-4 at the midseason mark. Offense, amazing. Defense, terrible. Who would have guessed? Scouting national focus, it just has to be corner here for the Bengals. So I know they have Dax Hill. I know they have a lot of young guys who I can develop in simulation. It just doesn't feel like enough. For the re-signed players, Trey Hendrickson is here. We're at the trade deadline. I am going to trade him for this realistic rebuild in Trey Hendrickson being traded away. Some of you may say he should have been traded at the beginning of the season. I think the Bengals are going to drag him out. They're going to have a bunch of contract negotiations, da-da-da-da-da. Then they're finally going to let him go. So I will trade him here in a second. Cam Taylor-Britt isn't bad. Young, star development, same thing with Dax Hill. A lot of these guys I do want back long-term. $10 million a year for Cam Taylor-Britt, though? I don't know about that, but I'm probably still going to pay it anyways, unlike the Bengals in real life. I'm not going to be a penny pincher. I know that doesn't seem like the most realistic rebuild. And then Dax Hill, he just doesn't want to be here. He wants to be the top player on the depth chart, which I'm not willing to pay him $8 million a year to be a 79 overall. I mean, I'll pay him player-friendly. Let's see actually if he will accept this. And he actually does. That's a lot more surprising than I thought it would be. I'm planning to move him back to free safety. Geno Stone's only 26. I thought it was a lot older than that. And this is a dummy cheap contract. Let's do 2 years and increase the bonus. I know they're not the greatest in real life, but these guys definitely aren't bad. I kind of want Dax Hill back at free safety. Joseph Asai has been terrible. All these other guys, just not really interested in. Miles Murphy has been garbage. What a terrible first-round pick. Trey Hendrickson, let me go trade this guy. I feel like this is the most fair and realistic offer I can do for Trey Hendrickson. He's 30 years old. I don't think you're going to get a first-round pick out of him. We've seen plenty of trades where a lot of older players just go for like a third or a fourth-round pick even despite how good they are. And especially since he's in contract negotiations and unhappy with his team, other teams are going to have a lot of leverage. So I think realistically, you can get this in Madden. You can definitely trade away a first-round pick. We'll get a first-round pick for Trey Hendrickson, but he's 30 years old, superstar development. He's only going to technically regress according to simulation, so I'm getting a late second-round pick, a third-round pick, and a sixth-round pick from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're trading him to a completely separate conference. He's going to like it in sunny Tampa Bay. They need an edge rusher. They need some guy coming off the edge. It's been a huge problem for them for a very long time now. Well, actually, more like a few years now, I would say, not a very long time, but this is definitely going to be an easy fix for the Buccaneers, and it will help us long-term build the team. So I like that move, but again, our defense is only going to get worse from here, so let's just move into the playoffs. And we go 8-9 and make the playoffs. Seems like a typical Steelers season, but 32nd in rushing yards. We're in a passing scheme, so I'm not really too surprised. Defensive passing game got better. Defensive rushing game got slightly worse without Trey Hendrickson. I thought it would get a lot worse, but that's fine. We're probably going to lose to the Chiefs round 1. Not really too surprised by that if we do. Joe Burrow, absolute monster, still goes 8-9 because his defense blows. Patrick Mahomes wins league MVP. Joe Burrow is 3rd. Number 1 in passing yards, 5th in passing touchdowns, 7th in pass rating, 2nd best offense in the NFL, defensively 28th. Burrow, amazing season, 4,800 yards, 37 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 114 pass rating, got sacked 64 times in a season. I think that's the most I've ever seen in Madden simulation. The offensive line in just Madden simulation is bad. Like the Bengals offensive line is bad. 64 sacks is ridiculous. Is that an all-time record? The all-time record for the most times being sacked in a single season was David Carr at 76, Randall Cunningham 72, Caleb Williams was at 68, tied with David Carr as well. So Joe Burrow would be tied. It would be actually the 6th most sacked quarterback in NFL history in a season. Sam Howell for Washington in 2023 was sacked 65 times. I did not know that. That was crazy, but in 6th place here, we would have Joe Burrow for being the 6th most quarterback sacked in a single season in NFL history. Awful job. Chase Brown, 3.6 per carry, 13 touchdowns is nice. Not very many attempts. We're obviously in a passing offense. No fumbles. 3.6 isn't great, but 13 touchdowns isn't bad, especially for the attempts he had. And then for the receptions, Jamar Chase balled with 1,500 yards, 7 touchdowns, over 100 receptions. T. Higgins, 100 receptions, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. Great receiving core. And then a slot receiver in Madden continues to stay broken. 1,100 yards for this guy and 13 touchdowns. He's going to get star development. Absolute baller season from the receiving core. Sacks allowed. Orlando Brown, I'm trading him. I don't care what his contract is or anything. If dude's getting paid this much to allow 21 sacks, just cut him from the team. Fairchild's a rookie, but still, that's awful. Amarius Mims, awful. Ted, awful. Patrick, all right, and he's literally the lowest offensive lineman on the team. That seems to happen a lot. Logan Wilson, 130 tackles for a loss, 10 for Shamar Stewart, sacks, 10 for Shamar Stewart, leading the team since Trey Hendrickson left. So he's already having a great year. I'm already eating my words from Shamar Stewart. Interceptions, 3 for DJ Turner, Oren Brooks, and then Cam Taylor-Britt, and then deflections going to be 7 for Cam Taylor-Britt and Logan Wilson. Safeties on the team is going to be 0 defensive touchdowns, 1 for Dax Hill. Can we beat the Kansas City Chiefs to move on to the divisional round in this simulation here? And the answer is going to be yes. 31-25, absolute shocker here to face the 14-3 Ravens. Can we have back-to-back miracles here against 2 great teams in the playoff simulation? We do. Here to face the 8-9 Indianapolis Colts, and I'm sure we're going to lose here because Anthony Richardson is busted in simulation. I don't even know how he got here, but sure, I'll take it. Here we are against the Colts. They're going to open up with nothing. We're going to start with 3. They're going to respond with 7 there. I put on 9-minute quarters, by the way, instead of the usual 6. 14-3 game against the Colts, as the offense is just doing terrible, which is not something that we're used to here. The Colts defense absolutely piling us on. Wow. 3-24. Offense decided to completely not show up today, which is the complete opposite of what we wanted, and I completely predicted it. We beat the Colts. Well, no, we beat the Chiefs and the Ravens, but we just can't beat the Anthony Richardson Colts because he's just goated in simulation for some reason. It's like previous Mads where Desmond Ridder or Jacoby Brissett were goated in simulation for no reason. And the Colts win the Super Bowl. Wow, Trey Hendrickson makes it to the Super Bowl with the Buccaneers, experiences his second Super Bowl loss in his career. Anthony Richardson somehow wins the Super Bowl MVP. He's Anthony Richardson's senior now. Did he have a kid and give him a junior? I don't know. Patrick Mahomes, league MVP. No awards here for the Bengals. Sucks for us. In the AFC North, a bunch of Steelers players retire, a bunch of Ravens players retire, no Bengals player retire. I'm not reading all that. For the team upgrades, our slot receiver got star development, which honestly should be X Factor after that crazy of a season. Orlando Brown Jr. I'm going to trade. I'm not dealing with a contract just for him to allow 21 sacks. Demetrius Knight with superstar development now. Logan Wilson upgraded to superstar development. Shamar Store, after having 10 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss as a rookie, doesn't get a development upgrade, which is surprising. And I kind of want to move Dax Hill over to free safety, up to free safety there with Geno Stone. And I know I signed Geno Stone and Dax Hill both to a little bit longer contracts, but I still like the rotation of both of these guys, and I also plan to draft a corner. So I want Dax Hill playing his original position, which would be free safety, I believe, or was it strong safety? But either way, the development of these guys are younger. Hopefully they can develop. Interior defensive line, BJ Hill is not going to be the guy. Chris Jenkins, not that bad. Need a will linebacker. But apart from that, let's move into the re-signing. I got to upgrade some things. Zach Taylor here, he has some ability. He has some play sheets. I don't know if play sheets actually affect simulation, because maybe just in the game I can see that affecting the simulation. So you guys let me know down in the comments below. I have a level 7 offensive coordinator. My trainer is apparently really good. Let's just keep pumping him, honestly. Players with doubtful stats heal 5% faster. I mean, I don't think I should even upgrade that because I don't have injury on. Recover 5% faster for wear and tear. I don't have wear and tear. I have fatigue on. Increased rate in which players recover from wear and tear. Reduce wear and tear. I don't even know why I upgraded that. Job security, very bad from Ian Alexander. Yeah, I can see why. Like, let's upgrade some of this so this dude isn't suffering for so much longer. Improved the linebacker development from him. So this is what I was able to increase for my defensive coordinator. He clearly is not doing well. But yeah, I'm just going to keep my playbooks because I don't think my playbooks are the problem. My defensive passing game was 12th. My defensive rushing game was 32nd. I need an edge rusher. I would like another long-term defensive tackle. And then Joseph Osai is not the answer. All these other extras are not the answer. Don't like any of these guys. They can all leave. So let's move into free agency. And I'm going to trade away Orlando Brown. 21 sacks in a season. Absolutely unacceptable. Yeah, paying this dude $24 million a year. Like he's allowing, we're paying him basically $1 million per sack he allows. He gets rewarded for allowing sacks at this point. Who wants this guy at any cost? The Niners do for Asante Samuel. I just feel like that's just straight up a robbery at that point. Yeah, these are all terrible deals for the other teams. Yeah, so I feel like it's just not fair to allow it, especially for a guy who just allowed 21 sacks. At this point, I'm just dumping his contract. A 4th-round pick for Orlando Brown Jr., please take him. Tyler Linderbaum is in free agency. Oh, yeah. If we could get this division rival, huge for the team. So, unfortunately, Tyler Linderbaum said no to us. I guess he's still loyal, but anyways, we did get Drew Tranquil. I feel like this just makes a lot of sense. It's a 2-year contract. It's not that bad. I don't really like what's left available. A lot of these guys just don't have interest in us, and player interest gets better and better every year, in my opinion, because it just makes sense for players to want to go to a team rather than just go for money. There are some players that do have the exception of just going straight for the money, but Tyler Linderbaum's going to go to Atlanta. I feel like that makes a lot of sense for him. Let's move in to the draft. So going into the draft, our offensive line is trash. Our defensive line needs some improvement. Let me just look at the team. Yeah, so the offensive line just needs a bunch of improvement, but I need to focus on my defense more because that's clearly more of the problem. And then I guess it's moving around Drew Tranquil. I would like a corner, but I feel like I needed an edge rusher long-term. Myles Murphy's just not going to gut it. I'm going to be so real. I'm not even going to bother developing him. I need defensive tackles. It was literally ranked the worst defensive line in the NFL and probably the worst offensive line in the NFL. We just need to work on trenches heavily. The Browns get the #1 overall pick, and they get pick number 9. They are balling, as we're going to get pick number 29, which I really don't feel like we should fall this far, and they still haven't fixed this glitch in franchise yet, which is super annoying. Miguel Andre here out of Virginia, 6'2", 265 speed rusher, good speed, solid strength, great acceleration, elite change direction, A finesse moves, B tackle awareness, and play rec. Does not look bad at all for an edge rusher. And then CJ Peters out of Oregon, 6'4", 277, more like a 3-4 guy, but great speed, elite jumping, good acceleration, better skills, but is he faster than Andre? Miguel Andre runs a 4.7 flats there, and he's not nearly as strong. While Peters here, Miguel Peters, not Miguel Peters, it's going to be CJ Peters here, is faster than him, stronger than him. He weighs more than him. I like Peters here. I do like Peters. He's a power rusher. I know it may seem like a 3-4 guy, but he's still not around 300 pounds. He's almost 280 here, but I feel like I'm going to take Peters. He's faster, he's stronger, and he's bigger. I'm going to take CJ Peters as this big power rush guy. Ranked 29, got him at 29. Hidden development out of Oregon. He's going to be a starter to replace Trey Hendrickson immediately. Day 3 guys for center on the board. Maybe I'll take this guy post UDFA in the later rounds. Right guards, day 3 guys as well. This guy doesn't look bad. I'm in the late 3rd round. Elite strength, immediately picking this guy. That's all I need to know here. He has hidden development out of Tennessee, and that's all you need to know from these guys. What was he ranked? He was ranked 38, got him at 61. He has hidden development, 92 strength for a rookie's nuts. B awareness, A lead block, A run block power. As soon as you see that elite strength for a trench guy, just take him. And then I also get another 2nd round pick because of the San Francisco trade. Obviously, there actually is a decent left tackle on the board. Let me see what he got with Isaiah Williams. Decent strength. Not really going to risk taking that. Let's see the physicals on these guys. Strength, great strength from this guy in Matt Griffith out of Boise State. Day 3 projection, poor jumping. He doesn't need to jump. I mean, that doesn't look horrible, but maybe I'll take a chance on it later. Let's look at our defensive tackles on the board. Elite strength from nose tackle and Vince Montague here. Elite strength is what I like to see. He looks pretty good. Day 3 projection, I'll wait on that. And for our corners here, we have A tackling from this guy, B man coverage. Looks a little bit better than the other guys, Slot and Brandon Davis out of Texas Tech here. Good speed, good acceleration, elite agility. Like what he has on the board, B stamina. C to D awareness is a little bit concerning, but I'll take him anyways here. Ranked to 83, got him at 63. A little bit of a reach. Doesn't seem like horrible value though. All right, let's go back to that defensive tackle. Now that I'm late 3rd round, I'm willing to pull the trigger early. Day 3, I'm in the late 3rd round, almost there. Elite strength for Vince. What do we have? Oh my gosh, ranked 4 in the class, got him at 93. If you see the elite strength, just pull the trigger, dude. Minus A minus, but normal development, but very, very good player to just plug and play immediately, which is what we need. I know he won't develop, which is important in the first draft, but still, I really like that pick regardless. Absolute steal value. Also getting the 3rd round pick from the, the Buccaneers. Like all that, so don't really do that. So let's see what we have. Any other standouts on the board? Another slot in Derek Peoples at a Boston College. Doesn't look amazing. I'm going to pull the trigger anyways because he has the B-man coverage. Ranked 82, got him at 95. Good value. Not that crazy of a player, though. Late 4th round, want to pull the trigger on this center here. He doesn't look crazy, Angelo Jones, but he does have the skills. Never mind. He does not have the strength. Only solid strength for the centers on the board. Let's see what we have for the strengths here. Ooh, great. This guy's athletic freak here. Day 3 in Ronnie Lilly out of Kansas State. Great strength. Very good athleticism in general. I'm going to pick up Ronnie Lilly here and see what he has. B+, ranked 66, got him at 125. Normal development, still good value. Not the best player, though, for our long-term development. Then finally going to pick up a left tackle in the late 5th round. Doesn't really seem that great. Probably just going to move the left guard over, and then I'm just going to go from there. Not a bad draft, but I'm just going to simulate to the end of it now. For the draft recap, 75 overall, 74, 71, 79 for Vince. Absolute steal. Not very many hidden developments. Got the corner, got the guard. Wasn't a bad pick. Stopped drafting after that. Actually, no, I didn't draft this guy. And then these guards, that left tackle was really not that great, but really not a bad draft, especially for the value that we had. The AI picked up a guard, Clemens, that apparently has hidden development. I was not aware of this. Vaughn Clemens, King Vaughn out here, reincarnated 92 strength guard. You love to see that. Was this guy the guy that I drafted? No, Vince was the guy that I was drafted that I was big on. Let's try out Lilly here. It was the guy that I drafted. Let's move him inside to center. So we honestly can't do much worse than this to Joe Burrow, knock on wood, of course, but let's see how Rivers does. Probably not the greatest. Anyways, it's a small improvement on the offensive line. I really don't see how you can do worse than what Orlando Brown just did, but we'll see on that. And then defensively, what do we got here? Peters is coming off the edge. Wow, they already want Vince to start. And then Chris Jenkins, I'm going to make him the starter just because he has that hidden development. He will surpass him eventually. Everything else looks good there. Let's move Newton down, actually. Would like the rookies to get a chance. and then all that looks good to me. So the defense really doesn't look that bad on paper. They're just really young with lower overalls. Third down running back, I don't want my gadget guy to be Jamar Chase. I would rather just have it be Chase Brown. Power halfback, Chase Brown, just give him all the reps there. Slot corner does not need to be Geno Stone. Sub linebacker, clearly going to be Logan Wilson. And then nose tackle is going to be Vince. He's a big dude. And then rush defensive tackle, why are we doing this? I mean, Demetrius Knight does not need to be coming off the edge. That's super annoying. Well, how does it not tell the difference between an edge rusher who's clearly playing on the edge and my outside linebacker? That's still an issue. Let's move into the midseason mark. 3-4 once again here to face the Ravens. Offense great, defense literally the worst in the league. Super annoying. Scouting national focus, I'm going to do defensive tackle. Is it like my coach? Is that seriously the problem for Ian Alexander? Like, do I need to upgrade everything? Like, does this actually do anything for simulation, or is it just for gameplay? Regardless, my defense still sucks here. DJ Turner, I know I said my secondary is not performing well, but these guys are still young and I'm still developing. I want to pay them. I know I said they're not good, but I really can't do much better in the draft in terms of development. Jordan Battle, same thing. Like, what am I going to do? Draft a guy who's an 80 overall star development? Same thing, but I don't have to pay him. I mean, I really can't do much better than what I'm doing there. I really don't need this guy, Andres, how you say it, or I might be saying that wrong. I mean, he's about to turn 27. He's really not going to progress much more than me. I know he just bought out, but it's literally just the slot position that makes it that way. Chase Brown just doesn't want to be with the team. He's really not that crazy for me. I really don't care if he walks, so we can move on from him. Miles Murphy sucks. All these other guys are bad too. Marius Mims, I'll accept his option because I have no other options, but unfortunately, the team sucks again. Let me try the Cowboys offense because for some reason, I don't know why, but if you have a different offense, your defense plays differently as well. It makes no logical sense, but we'll see. So let's try out the Madden Simulation Guide playbook, the Dallas offense. Buffalo defense, I feel like it's the only thing that I've ever found that was decent here. So 3-4 under, I'm not doing that. 3-4 disguise, I'm not doing that. 4-6, I guess that's the greatest scheme fit we have. The players with 3 overall of points will increase the scheme fit percentage. Players with perfect scheme fit will earn extra XP in weekly training. So it doesn't actually change anything. It's about your playbook that changes stuff, which is just complete hit or miss. 7-10. Our defense still sucks. I love Madden. I know the defense wasn't good to start with, but oh my gosh, dude. How do I even fix this? How much more can I upgrade Ian Alexander till he actually does something? Yeah, so that's as much as I can upgrade him from here, but I really don't know what to do past that. Stats and awards, Joe Burrow looks like a league MVP once again, but of course his defense snubs him out and he gets snubbed out of the MVP. I wouldn't really say snubbed, but easily a top 3 quarterback and 9th best offense in the NFL and the worst defense in the NFL. As Joe Burrow, almost 4,300 yards, 37 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, 120 passer rating. It was better this season. Got sacked 10 less times, but the offensive line, that's still unacceptable. Rushing-wise, Chase Brown, 1 fumble, 11 touchdowns, 3.9 per carry. Improvement on the year, but still not worth re-signing. Jamar Chase, over 100 receptions, 1,400 yards, 18 touchdowns. Balled out. T. Higgins, almost 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. And then this guy didn't ball out nearly as much as last year. Then Mike Gesicki, not too bad. And then for the sacks allowed, yeah, Jalen Rivers, I didn't expect much. He played better than Orlando Brown, and I'm not paying him $24 million a year. Fairchild still sucks. Amarius Mims did worse than last year. Von Clemens and Ronnie Lilly, the 2 rookies and the lowest overall offensive lineman on my team, allowed the least amount of sacks. Logan Wilson, 135 tackles, 100 for Drew Tranquil, tackles for a loss, 20 for Shamar Stewart, actually a tackle for a lost Demon, 12 for CJ Peters, 11 for Chris Jenkins, sacks, 6.5 for Shamar Stewart, 5.5 for the rookie CJ Peters. This isn't enough. Interceptions, 3 for Logan Wilson and Cam Taylor-Britt. Deflections, 9 for Drew Tranquil, 8 for DJ Turner, 6 for Logan Wilson. So our linebackers seem to be doing well, just not the corners. No safeties and no defensive touchdowns. And the Panthers beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl, getting their first ever Super Bowl win. Nate Mayweather, the will linebacker for the Panthers, win the Super Bowl. Josh Allen wins the league MVP here, and there are no other awards here for the Bengals, no awards, period. And Samaje P. Ryan retires for the Bengals, that's fine. For the team upgrades, Clemens comes with star developments, don't really care. I mean, it doesn't really matter that too much. I mean, he actually did pretty good, so I guess I really shouldn't complain. Peters comes with star development. Vince did not get an upgrade. I was really hoping he did. Nobody really got an upgrade on our defense, which really sucks to the long-term development of the team. Let's see the re-sign players. For the re-signings, I guess I'll accept the option for Amarius Mims. I mean, I really got nothing else to do with that, so Let's just accept that. Everyone else here sucks. Let's look in free agency. So we're bringing DJ Reader back to the Bengals on a 1-year contract. He's an 89 overall. He's a nice fit for 1 year. Obviously knows the scheme. He's a scheme fit. And then Tank Bigsby is also a scheme fit on the team. He's going to be a long-term running back for us. Obviously still in a passing scheme, but not a bad player. In round number 1, we have pick number 11 here. Don't really like what I have on the board. Actually, there's a corner here. Dante Kramer out of Virginia Tech, 5'11", 183. Good speed, elite acceleration here. B's across the board. Very balanced. I would like a corner if I had to take something here. Any of these guys seem really more standouts. A zone coverage from this guy. Taylor Parks out of Utah, 5'11", 190. Good speed, elite acceleration as well. So the other guy's more balanced. This guy's more focused in something. I need a stud who's more focused in something. I like Taylor Parks, but he's a 1-2 guy. I'm worried about taking and reaching on a guy that ends up not being that good. A man coverage for this guy. B to D zone coverage. A catching for Junior Rankin here out of UCLA. Elites across the board. Junior Rankin looks way better. And I don't want to risk going down the board and somebody else reaching on him. I'd rather just take Junior Rankin here out of UCLA. Elites across the board. He looks like a stud. Ranked number 2 in the class. Got him at 11. A- pick. Hidden development. He is a stud. I want him starting immediately. Round number 2. Is there any left tackles on the board? 3rd to 4th rounder and Doug Madsen here. He looks terrible. Let's go to right tackles here. Can anyone really play worse than the guys that I just had? The answer is probably. Quincy Lawrence here. Solid strength, elite acceleration. F's on the board. Don't really like that. They're a left guard that can play left tackle. 315 pounds. Not really. Right guard. Ooh, hold up. Power guard. He is 2nd to 3rd rounder and Lane McCollum. Elite strength, dude. Don't need to see anything else. 334 pounds. He's going to play tackle for me. Ranked 3 in the class. Got him at 43. Absolute steal. I'm still a baller at drafting. Yes, I'm glazing myself. He looks great. He's going to play left tackle. I don't care if he's a right guard. I really can't do anything worse with my left tackles, so this is as good as it's going to get. Day 3, Carlos Van Dyke out of UNLV. 5'11", 225. I've never picked a good player out of UNLV in Madden. I've always remembered that, but A zone coverage, A injury, B man coverage, B awareness. Doesn't seem the best, but doesn't seem the worst. Yeah, I've never picked a good player out of UNLV ever in Madden. Let me look at the tight ends because I kind of want to replace Mike Gesicki eventually. This guy doesn't look the worst. Emmett Cutler at a post UDFA here. Solid grades across the board. Doesn't seem the best, maybe. I mean, he doesn't look bad either. Then these day 3 guys, let me see what I have on the board for this. Doesn't look bad from this guy either. And Manny Lopez out of UCF here. Goods across the board. I mean, doesn't seem the worst. Let's take a chance on him. He's going to be ranked awful. He's just terrible. I'm going to try and pick the other guy. In the 5th round, let me pick the other tight end. Emmett Cutler was the guy. I'm pretty sure he was. Yeah, solids across the board. Let me take a chance on him. And he's going to be a little bit better. Not great either. I'm just going to simulate to the end of the draft. Junior Rankin, 80 overall. My right guard, 80 overall. My will linebacker, terrible. Awful draft after that. But hey, I drafted 2 studs. I needed studs, and that's what I got. So this is the team after the draft. McCollum goes from right guard to left tackle. Completely opposite position, but he needs to play there. We can create the storyline that he played offensive tackle his freshman year, whatever. Anyways, we drafted, apparently the AI drafted a backup QB with hidden development. Why not? We got Tank Bigsby. Maybe that's a little bit better. Defensively, I'm going to start ranking immediately. I'm hoping this guy has at least superstar development. He looks really good. Jenkins hasn't developed as much as Vince. Let's give Vince more of a chance here. Team looks a little bit better this season. Hopefully we can do a little bit better. Logan Wilson I'm probably going to need to replace in the next season. And then slot wide receiver, Burton. I completely forgot about this guy, Burton. There's so much hype about this guy. Jermaine Burton out of Alabama. I remember whenever they drafted this guy, so many people were gassing him up, and he's just been non-existent since. DJ Reader is the nose tackle. Shamar Stewart, you are not the rush defensive tackle. Why would this guy be the rush edge over Shamar? Oh my gosh, dude. Over Shamar Stewart. Why is that a thing? That is not a thing. Let's not make it a thing. Tank Bigsby. Actually, we're going to have Jamar Chase be the gadget because why not? Everything else looks good. I'm going to manually change that. Let's move into the preseason for year number 3. We're 1-6. This game blows. Oh my God. What do I need to do? Why does my offense magically suck now? Did Joe Burrow just give up on life? There's genuinely no scheme that can fix how terrible this game is. It doesn't even matter if I look up schemes and playbooks on ChatGPT. They're all just going to be terrible. I know my team isn't the greatest, but 1-6 for the quarterback that I have is completely ridiculous. By the way, my right guard that I moved to left tackle, superstar development. He's a baller. Defensively, Rankin is only star development, but he's already developing very quickly. Still, baller draft. Scouting National National focus. I guess I need to scouting national focus some wins. That would be nice. I really don't care. Players ready to negotiate. Chris Jenkins, how much do you want? Do you want $14 million to be a third string player? No, thank you. Geno Stone, no, thank you. Logan Wilson, you're pushing 32, buddy. You're Unk status. DJ Reader, you're Unk status, but let's see how far your overall goes down. And then Drew Tranquil has been good for us, but we'll see. And then Evan McPherson, he's a kicker. Why not just have him on the team? Let's do a 4-year deal for him. He's going to re-sign. I don't really want anyone else, if I'm being honest. They just want too much money. I mean, I have a lot of money, but I'm not just going to dish it out because I'm a penny-pinching Bengals franchise. But let's move into the playoffs. My team goes 7-10 back-to-back years, so that improved, but like I still have an 89 overall team, which really is a good team. It should be at least making 11-6, 10-7, making the playoffs. Like, am I really doing something that wrong? Like, how much more can I pump into this damn defensive coordinator before he wakes up? Do I have to physically fire him to be good in simulation, regardless of his development? Like, that just seems super dumb to me. So this is as much as they're going to let me develop him. So that's all I can really do with my defensive coordinator. It doesn't seem to matter. 31st in defensive rushing game, even though my defensive line is like my strong suit of my defense, but sure. Stats and awards, Joe Burrow, another great year. I mean, 13th best offense here, defensively 31st. Great. We improved one spot from last year. 4,200 yards, 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 109 pass rating. Much better in the sack department. Much better. Getting it under 40 here. Good job for Burrow. But then Tank Bigsby, 3.7 per carry, 8 touchdowns, 2 fumbles. I mean, not a rushing team, but not really a great season. Jamar Chase, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jermaine Burton, I guess I should have just held my tongue with what I said about him. 15 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. T. Higgins, paying him $20 million a year to give him a solid season, I guess. Nothing crazy. And then looking at left tackles, McCollum allows 13 sacks. And even though that's not good, that's the best we've had this entire simulation for our left tackle. So I'll take it. Marius Mims, 9, 8 for Fairchild. He's slightly developing. Clemens doing great. And Ronnie Lilly is doing great. Again, 2 of our lowest offensive linemen, just outperforming the rest of the team. Doesn't make any sense. Defensively, Logan Wilson, 116 tackles. Tackles for a loss. 14 for Vince. 13 for Demetrius. 10 for Shamar Stewart. Sacks is 9 for Shamar Stewart. 9 for Demetrius Knight. I guess they're having him play edge. 6.5 for Vince. 6 for DJ Reader. CJ Peters not really getting that. And then interceptions, 3 for DJ Turner. 2 for Logan Wilson. Deflections, 12 for Junior Rankin. The rookie is amazing. 10 for Logan Wilson. Probably still, maybe we'll re-sign him for another year just to have him as a backup. And then safeties is going to be 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for DJ Turner. Gonna have Logan Wilson probably as a backup just because he's gonna regress pretty hard, but let's move into the 4th and final year. This is just ridiculous. I understand the Bengals defense is bad, but oh my gosh, like this just makes me want to blow my brains out. The simulation, it just makes no logical sense. I deal with this every season too. I guarantee you, next season, guaranteed we're magically a playoff team. The Commanders win the Super Bowl 24-10 as the Ravens lose back-to-back Super Bowls. Jaden Daniels wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins another league MVP. No awards here for the Bengals. In the AFC North here, Drew Tranquil retires. Other people retire as well that I don't really care about. For the team upgrades here, offensively, we look exactly the same. Okay, that's cool. Nice team. 88 overall offense. Defensively, Logan Wilson and Demetrius Knight both get superstar X Factor. Junior Rankin doesn't get an upgrade. Still really like him, though. Probably going to still have him as the starter. He produced some good numbers on paper for us. And then for the re-signing, Shamar Stewart, sure, I'll accept his option. Chris Jenkins, he really hasn't done that much. Do I really want to pay him? He's not interested with the team, so I'd probably end up having to pay him $16 million a year to be a third string when Vince is already outperforming him. So I'm going to say no. Geno, I don't need. Logan Wilson was great for us. He's just regressing really hard. Let's give him player-friendly for him so that way he re-signs. He's going to stay with the team. Demetrius Knight has been playing great. DJ Reader, I mean, he's really old, but still, I mean, he's produced numbers for us like he has been in the past season. So I'm going to re-sign him. And then all these other extras, Mike Gesicki and all these other guys, just not interested in. Let's move into free agency. We have a lot of money. Hopefully there's a lot of stud defensive players in free agency. Leonard Williams, 34 years old, is the top guy. This is not the free agency. I mean, Kenny Clark, Grover Stewart, like this is just not it. This is not it for sure. Cole Kmet is really the only guy I would have interested in here for a tight end. So I had the top offer on Cole Kmet, completely overpaid him, and he still didn't want to come to the Bengals. He was just tired of poverty franchises. But Jamel Dean was the only guy I got, and then a long snapper, it doesn't matter. I guess I just had him just to have him, but I don't have a tight end. I guess it doesn't matter because Joe Burrow is going to ball anyways, and my defense is going to suck regardless. But again, guaranteed we're magically going to be a playoff team because that's just how EA simulation works. in the draft, I really don't need anything else other than a Mike linebacker, which isn't going to be picked in the top 10 most likely. So what are we going to have? Some edge rushers, some receivers. Maybe I could trade for a linebacker, a good one. Third to fourth guy is the best Mike linebacker on the board. There's a Sam at 1 to 2. Oh my gosh, that's just bad. I mean, maybe do I draft a first round tight end? They're not really the best on the board either. I'm just going to trade it away for a Mike linebacker if I'm being real. Trading away my pick number 8 for 88 overall superstar development, Jack Campbell, and a 4th and a 5th round pick from the Lions. Not really the best, but I need a Mike linebacker. It's the final year. I really have no other reason to have that draft pick. And then a 1st to 2nd round tight end is still on the board. A's across the board. Connor Radovich here out of USC, 6'4", 260, elite speed, elite acceleration. A's across the board, easily going to be the pick here. Early 2nd round, ranked 15. Got him at 40. Normal development, of course, which really sucks. But honestly, I'm going to simulate to the rest of the end of the draft. I only needed the first 2 picks, really only 1 pick after trading for Jack Campbell. But I highly doubt Jack Campbell will magically make my defense better. But I guess I'm magically going to find out if my team just does so much better because the simulation sucks. Radovich is a 77, 74 for this receiver, and then everyone else here just an absolute bust. I don't want to seem like a total whiner, but like genuinely, what am I supposed to do? Like genuinely, I have a 90 overall team, and they was like, nah, we're just not gonna let you win. We're going to have Logan Wilson play the Will. Get it? Because Logan Wilson is going to play the Will? Yeah, I'm so funny. So the defense really doesn't look that bad. Jamel Dean, superstar developments. We're still going to have Rankin as the starter. I think he's just got the most potential in the team. He did really good in the previous season as well. Specialist-wise, they want Cam Taylor-Britt there. Let's actually have the superstar there. Everything else looks good there. Nose tackle there. And, of course, they never get the rush defensive tackle or my edge rushers right. Extremely annoying how the AI is just so brain dead. But anyways, gadget guy, we're going to make it T. Higgins. But apart from that, let's move into the 4th and the final season. Because if we don't make the playoffs 4 seasons in a row, I'm going to lose it. But we magically will. See you there. And oh my gosh, our team magically makes the playoffs. Who would have guessed? Wow, EA simulation. My defense, a lot better. My defensive rushing game still sucks. Doesn't make sense. But sure, I'll take it. And of course, I guess the Raiders are meta. The Raiders just have the meta defense. Or I guess you just have to have Max Crosby on your defense. I mean, I guess I got to try the Raiders defense because it seems very meta compared to their offense. And Joe Burrow definitely he has to be your league MVP after that season. Has to be, absolutely is your league MVP. Number 1 in passing yards, passing touchdowns, 3rd in pass rating, best offense in the NFL, and the 20th best defense, of course. And then 5,300 yards, 43 TDs, 8 interceptions, 118 pass rating, got sacked 55 times. Generational season from Joe Burrow. Tank Bigsby, 3.9 per carry, 14 touchdowns and a fumble. T. Higgins, 1,200 yards, 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns, literally career high. And then Jamar Chase, 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns. Tyrone Shorts here, sure, 11 touchdowns, 1,300 yards, some random 70 overall. And then sacks allowed. McCollum randomly just significantly worse this year. It's just the system just doesn't make sense in Madden. It's significantly worse. The simulation factor is just doesn't make any logical sense. It was significantly worse than last year. I like the gameplay this year. I like the presentation. I like what they've done so far with franchise. There's some tweaks in it, but this is ridiculous. Defensively, Jack Campbell, 125 tackles for a loss, 15 for Vince, 12 for CJ Peters, 11 for Jack Campbell, 10 for Shamar Stewart and DJ Reader. Sacks on the team, 13.5 for Shamar Stewart, best season he's had yet, 10.5 for Vince, 7 for DJ Reader, 6 for CJ Peters. He's more of a tackle for a loss machine. Interceptions here, 4 for Junior Rankin. He's a baller, dude. 3 interceptions for DJ Turner. Deflections, 6 for Jack Campbell, 4 for a handful of others that I'm not going to read. Junior Rankin is one of them, though, because he's baller. 0 safeties and 0 defensive touchdowns. Can we beat the defensive gods in the Las Vegas Raiders to move on to the divisional round for our 2nd time in the playoffs? We made it 8-9 year 1. Yes, we beat them 28-22. We are 5 overalls higher than the Broncos, but you know how Madden simulation is. This is the 4th and final season. I don't want to sell this. Let me hop into this if I need to. Here we are against the Broncos. They're going to open up with 7. We're going to respond with nothing with my league MVP quarterback. Sure, that makes sense. 6-7 games. 6-7, boys. I'm just kidding. 13-7 here in the 3rd quarter. Defense is actually holding. Offense is doing nothing. Completely opposite universe here from my team. Let's take it play by play. All you have to do is literally just hold the ball. It doesn't take much skill to do that. Just run the ball with Tank the entire game. And perfect. My defense actually prevails. My offense does nothing. Completely opposite universe than reality. But sure, I'll take it. 13-7 as we're going to be moving on to the conference championship. As we are here to face the 10-7 New England Patriots. We are now 8 overalls higher than the Patriots here. We gained boosted morale in the offseason. Well, not in the offseason, but from the previous week. Let's see if we can beat them to move on to the Super Bowl in this simulation. So we're actually 6 overalls higher than them, not 8 overalls higher than them. For some reason, my brain couldn't comprehend that. Big touchdown for us, 14-3 against the Patriots. Our defense is somehow holding. Offense, thankfully, scoring points this game, 21-3, 28-3. Oh no, Falcons fans, look away. You're never going to live that down as we beat them 28-10, as we will be moving on to the Super Bowl, as the defense is having a generational run here in simulation playoffs. Perfect time when I need them. And no way we are going to be playing Trey Hendrickson here in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl here. We are 4 overalls higher than the Buccaneers. Let me see if they still have Trey Hendrickson on their team. Did he retire? No, he did not retire. He's a superstar X Factor now. 34 years old, 33 years old, superstar X Factor, 94 overall with the boost here. Previous season, 20 sacks, 13.5 sacks, 14.5 sacks, 18.5 sacks. Oh my God, he balled without us, dude. I wish we had him still. Oh my gosh. We would not have suffered so much if he was on our team still. But anyways, let's see if we're going to beat him to cap off this rebuild and just shove in his face, because he already lost a Super Bowl in the simulation. Let's show him what he's missing out on our poverty franchise. And of course, they get home field advantage here. They start out with nothing. We dunk on them with 3. Not really much of a dunk. A little bit of a layup there as we got a 3-3 game. I don't know why I'm making basketball references in football. Either way, 10-3 game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 13-3, 13-6, as our defense is somehow holding strong. Yeah, we'll show you how to play defense, Trey Hendrickson, 20-6, as we're going to beat the Buccaneers on their own home field turf here. First team to ever beat you with home field advantage, because the Rams had home field advantage and the Buccaneers had home field advantage in real life. I think they both won those Super Bowls. So take that. We win the Bengals' first Super Bowl? I don't think it's ever. Maybe in a long time. But either way, it's a successful rebuild. My team magically became better because I said so. Your Super Bowl MVP is Joe Burrow. Your league MVP is Joe Burrow. Your offensive rookie of the year is Tyrone Short, some random 65 overall player that the AI picked up. I'll take it. This is a successful rebuild without Trey Hendrickson. The penny-pinching franchise Cincinnati Bengals win the Super Bowl. If you have any defensive playbooks that are meta, please put me on. I can't keep suffering.